Fishpass development. So this is the very first model made by String Plastic, and the idea come from Urs Hansler. Thanks for him about this way to manufacture with high density polyethylene HDPE. The first model is simply like a Jokela-Turbine plates, making the counter flow back to upwards. So and this photo shows how it works, but there is a problem that when it's opened, that the flow jumps over the end. It doesn't work quite as expected. This build also shows that there is a nice low velocity area in the middle, but on the other side of the channel, the flow near the wall is still quite high. So this pass doesn't work in very steep angle, and it uses quite a lot of water. If the flow is lowered, then this problem becomes more visible. So the channel is more empty, and there is this hydraulic jump on the blade, and therefore it cannot be used very steep. And if the angle is too big and the flow is too big, then it's just simply a mess. So there is not an acceptable functionality. Okay, so the first solution we tried is just to simply cover the blades to prevent the hydraulic jump to lose water. But it wasn't acceptable. The flow was still jumping around, and we needed to make it more complicated. So the problem is that this blade is like open here. So the next development, we make a zigzag roof over the blades, but this still wasn't good enough. The counter flow wasn't strong enough, and still not a really good functionality. So then the idea was hold it on the desk for a time, and then I draw complete pictures and about the experience, and blades make the flow, not only the counter row, but also really strong perpendicular flow on the channel, which the fishes must pass through, and this flow will definitely push the fishes on the other wall. This other wall cannot be anything sharp, it must be safe for the fishes. But it was also obvious that in this wall we need to have a divider. So the idea is that if we use simply the half pipe as a divider, then it's really smooth and nice, and this way also the top plates have a easier attachment point, and the concept manufacturing remains simple. I was so sure about the functionality that I decided to make immediately two complete protos, numbers 5 and 6. The difference between 5 and 6 is that on the proto 5 the pipes are perpendicular on the channel bed, so the manufacturing of the proto 5 is really easy. But I was expecting problems with the flow direction. So I made this proto 6, and here the blades are not perpendicular but slightly diagonal, meaning that the flow is mirrored more towards the bottom of the channel, and thus the up directed flow doesn't exist too much. So here is the photo from up, showing the flow of the model 6, and the 5 is also under there, and this shows it further, so please look it on the video how it goes. The arrows shows how the flow goes. So this is the view from bottom, and this is still the 5. And as you see on the 6, the water, the channel is much better filled than on the 5. So it's the diagonality is really also needed. So that's about it. Thanks.